Hello everybody and welcome again to Drumsticks Sunday channel, a different pair of drumsticks every week. And I'm Alberto Iglesias and we are going to talk about drumsticks. So this week, it's kind of a surprise for everybody because last week I didn't have the drumsticks, they were traveling to my house. And again, my buddies from Tam Percussion make it happen, and on Monday I have my new acquisitions. So this week I've been testing a pair of drumsticks because of a request for my buddy Christian Gil that asked me to test this model, which is it's been awesome, which is the Steve Jordan Vicfirth Signature model. Awesome. So well, before starting, as always, we have to talk a little bit about Steve Jordan, and as always, the first thing is, if in case you don't know who is this guy, here you have a picture of this awesome player. So this is Steve Jordan. So it's what can I say about Steve Jordan? He's one of the best drummers of all times. He's been playing with everybody you can imagine. So for example, just a little bit, you can talk about Eric Clapton, Keith Richards, Bob Dylan, B.B. King, Sherry Crow, Neil Young, Robert Cray, George Scofield. Well, you name it, and he's probably been playing with him. And a curiosity is that Steve was on the band of the program. The program is the Letterman show, a huge American show in the 80s. And one day they received Mr. James Brown, and so they were playing for James Brown, and everything was crazy. And remember Steve, an interview of Steve, and he was saying that night James Brown was freaked out about the sound they were getting, and he said that it was kind of a dream for them to play for James Brown, so they give it everything, and it was a great night for them. And of course, nowadays Steve Jordan is mainly known because of the John Mayer's trio, an amazing band with John Mayer and Pino Palladino and Steve Jordan. So an amazing trio, an amazing sound, and awesome. And Steve is mainly known as the groove guy. He's an expert playing in the pocket and doing his thing, and he make it dance, man. If you start listening, if you listen him playing, it's just you have to dance. You can't avoid that. So, and of course I have to mention here our personal Spanish Steve Jordan, which is Mickey Grau, awesome player too, and he's one of the biggest admirers, I think, of Steve, and he's an awesome player too. You can check his channel, or awesome player too. So let's talk about the drumsticks. Okay, first, as always, the measures. Let's say the length is 16 and a half inches, and the diameter is 0.525. It's a kind of a medium taper and a half barrel round tip. Okay, it's hickory and a regular lacquer. Sorry, regular lacquer, I would say. So, and as always, let's see a picture of this awesome pair of drumsticks. Okay, here you have it. So, they are really cool, I think. Okay, about the scissors to translate, you have to know that at this point. I think if you have been following the channel, you know that we are talking about pretty thin drumstick. It's 0.525, and for example, a 7A, a standard 7A from Vicfirth is 0.540. So it's even thinner than a 7A. And at the same time it's longer because it's 16 and a half compared with the standard 16 inches. Well, the taper is kind of medium, and the tip it's well, I think you can see that it's kind of half barrel, I would say, or round. It's kind of round. Well, today I can give you a little bit of history about this drumstick, just because I've been watching a video of Steve explaining this, and you can watch that video on Vicfirth. You can check. You can search on YouTube. Search Vicfirth Signature Steve Jordan, and one of the first videos you get is. And he explains that what he was playing and was starting and all that. His teachers were telling me to play at that time. The Regal T5A was the cool drumstick to use, but he says that the point is too the tip was too pointy, let's say that, and he was looking for something more round. And apparently there was a drumstick called Gretsch 3A that has that. It's kind of a rounded tip. So he went. Apparently, Steve went to the one pretty famous shop at that point in New York, which is the Pro Percussion, like from Hippolytos or Hippolytos, I don't know the pronunciation in English, which was, apparently is a pretty famous shop at that point. And well, he went there to ask about to looking for a drumstick and all that. At that point, they were making a drumstick for Steve Gadd, but for Steve, it was too short. So he asked them to make a drumstick for him that was longer and even thinner than that. So they made it. They started making it for him. Well, then the shop closed and all that. And after a few years, when he started playing with Vicfirth or talking with them about a new drumstick, he mentioned that it was good because then he was able to be very specific about the weight, about the length, and all that. And he was going to be sure that always the same weight, the same length, and all that. The drumstick will be more consistent. You can imagine back in the 70s or 80s or all that, everything was more handmade and all that, and it was quite different. But that's kind of the history of this. You can check the video. It's a cool video to watch. So about my test or my opinion, well, the first thing you notice when you take the drumstick is super thin, as I was mentioning, extremely thin. It's curious when you take it, so thin that it's too light at the same time, of course, because of the weight. Okay, about the thin, about that, as I always say, it's completely up to you if it fits or not with your hand, or what you like or what you don't like, and all that. So for me, it's too thin for me. But at the same time, I have to say that it's just super fast. It's pretty fast because I think because of the whole drumstick. It's super fast when you start playing. So I would say that I finally get used to that. So I started to forget that it's a thin drumstick. It's really comfortable to play. But it's completely up to you, as I was mentioning. I think it's super thin, but it's kind of you can use it for many styles. Always in the range of that rhythm blues, rock, soft rock, all that, jazz, all that. I think it fits perfectly. Maybe if we are talking about hard styles and all that thing. Well, it's not. You need more wood, I think, honestly, for all that. But anyway, it's kind of comfortable to play. So about the same time, about the length, as you know, I'm not a huge fan of long drumsticks, but in this case, and especially thinking that Steve Jordan plays in traditional style, and it's something that is kind of repetitive in all my tests, is that for traditional grip, I really prefer longer drumsticks. That extra length I get helps me to keep the balance of the drumstick. And it's kind of cool. I think in this case happens the same for me. For traditional grip, it's pretty comfortable, and because it's light, so I can really. If you watch Steve playing, as you can see, he goes really in. So it fits for that. I have to say that I really forget about the length when I started using it. And let's talk about the tip. In this case, it's pretty important, I think. I would say it's super great feel and rebound. The type of rebound you get, it's great, and I think it's mainly because of the tip. But the most important thing for me about the tape is the sound you get. It's a really great sound, very musical, it's great. It's a great balance between the ping, especially with the ride, between the ping and the overtones and the cool sound. You can get full sound of the cymbals. So in fact, I would say that I noticed just today that it's kind of the same tip. It's pretty similar to the Yo-Yo Mayer's tip. It's kind of the same, I think. So I don't have it here to compare, but I think it's kind of the same tip. And I remember telling you, you can check the video if you want, that I really love that tip. So it's kind of the same thing here. I really love the tip. It's my favorite thing of the drumstick, without any doubt. So, and again, the angle, you're not gonna notice the angle too much because of it's kind of round here. Even I know that you have more, it's flat on this area, but you don't notice too much that when you are playing. So, I think it's, well, something that you have to consider about this drumstick, as you can imagine, is that sometimes you need, I think honestly that sometimes you need the stroke, sometimes you need more body or fatness, let's say like that. It's because of the weight and because of the material, as I always say. So, what I would say, that I've been telling you this many times now, but you have a very good option with this, which is use the bottom of the drumstick. So when you are looking for more weight, more body, and all that, you can use this, and you get a super fat tip and neck and all right, at the same time. And you can get more. And in fact, I've been using one of the days, I think it's on Thursday, I was playing the whole session with this, well, at least with the snare. Sometimes with the ride, I prefer to use this. But I have to say that playing in this case, sometimes when you turn your drumstick, the balance kind of falls apart, and you start having, well, it's harder to play and all that. In this case, completely honest here, it's kind of super comfortable to play like this. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. It's maybe the length or I don't know. But doing the rolls you can play at the same speed in my case. So and you immediately notice that the stroke gains in body. It's more powerful, more, you notice more body in the stroke. So I think I've seen Steve using the drumstick like this. you have to put into consideration that you can play with other things in your set to get the sound you are looking for. In fact, I remember in the Mike Dawson and Mike Johnston podcast, Mike Dawson said that he was with Steve Jordan in an interview, and he realized that his snare was super tight, hyper tight, as he said. But at the same time, Steve was able to get kind of a different sounds depending on the way he hit, on the way, and he said that Steve said, maybe it's not the snare or it's not the drumstick, maybe it's me. So that's completely true. As I always say, you can play with all that. You can use a big snare drum for get fatter sound. You can detune some lag or something like that. But it's also true that in the end, the drumstick has a range, and sometimes you have a limit. You can go farther. So it's good to select the drumstick that it puts you in the range that you want to play. So then you can move, but you have to move between that range. I don't know if I'm clear about what I want to say, but I hope you understand. Or you can ask me if you want. But in this case, I think with this, combined with this, super fast drumstick, great sound, very comfortable, great drumsticks, I would say. Great drumsticks to use. For me, if I have to select just one drumstick, it's the diameter is not for me. I prefer at least a little bit more, closer to 5/8. But anyway, I will be able to play a whole concert with this without any problem, for sure, completely for sure. Without suffering, I've been really enjoying playing with this week. So, as I always say, if you have a chance, give it a try. Let me know how it goes and what do you think about the drumsticks, okay? And for the next week, I have to. Well, there's another request. We are on fire. This time I'm going to test this drumstick, which is the from ProMark, which is the PW707N. Well, you can check it out, just a little bit, and I just want to say that, which is oak. So let's see what happens. Okay, so have a nice weekend, a nice week. Keep practicing, keep testing things, and let me know how it goes. Okay, see you in a week. Goodbye.